Hello, my name is Jessica Sandoval, and this is my final for EDEL 518B. I will be going over my team evaluation and through a series of reflection questions based on the CBI project my group and I completed. I gave all my team members a 5. My team members are awesome to work with. We have completed group projects before, and they are always positive, communicate regularly, and produce stellar work. Jennifer H. did a great job in being our manager and helping with the implementation. Jennifer and also did a great job with the implementation and documentation of the process. Allison did an awesome job of creating the actual software and listening to our suggested changes. And I gave myself a 5. I felt it was in regular communication with my team. I created a concept map, which was the content that was used for our software. I implemented the alpha or break it test, which brought up changes that needed to be addressed, and I also helped with editing the software and making sure it worked properly. I think the greatest success during this process was that we worked as a team. Because we worked well together, we successfully came up with a software program that is functional and applicable to our classes. After we reflected on our initial plan, we accomplished exactly what we set out to do. I think the greatest challenge was the limitations that prevented us from achieving certain tasks on Google Slides. Unfortunately, in our program, students can still advance to other slides without actually answering questions simply because of the nature of the forward and back arrows. There was no way to incorporate a time component. There was also no way to save student information to demonstrate progress or let students start from where they left off. However, even given these challenges, I think that our program is still functional for a class setting. I'm not sure that it would change much about the process we followed. We were meticulous in our planning and followed all the steps carefully. We were in regular communication and would update the group on our progress. Our planning calendar helped in keeping us organized and meeting deadlines. The only part of the process where I confused myself was in distinguishing between the task analysis and concept map. Even after reading Alessi and Trollope, I did not fully understand the specific breakdown of the task analysis. I created a concept map, but once Jennifer H. developed a task analysis, it was easy to understand the breakdown and I added additional steps. Next time, I will ask for clarification early on. With my colleagues, I can share that developing one's own tutorial or drill can be beneficial since we can tailor it to the content that we teach in our classes. I could share the process needed when developing a program, and I think teachers would be receptive given that some of the common core resources provided do not always meet the needs of the students. My PE colleagues would be receptive since there's little to no resources for our students. In PE, we could create our own tutorials on how to play certain games, especially ones students may not have played before, such as team handball or flag rugby. This would be beneficial because we would ensure students know the rules before going out to play. This would save time since occasionally we have to stop and reteach because some students do not fully understand the rules. My PE colleagues could also create drills on how to perform skill elements such as shooting and passing a basketball, performing a layup, and strategies of the game. Going through a drill and passing the final assessment would be beneficial because it would let us know that students understand the basic elements to perform a skill correctly when going outside to practice. In the past, I've had my students create their own games with a team. I usually give them simple instructions such as incorporate a skill we have learned and keep the rules simple. However, I have never really given them a process to follow. I could use this process to guide them in their game creation so there's less frustration and to ensure there is a systematic process in their approach. I would modify the process to meet our needs. I would break down the planning phase by asking them to focus on a type of game they would like to create, such as a team or partner game, what the objective of the game will be, what are they trying to achieve, how do they win, and I would ask them to take into consideration their peers' interests. In the design phase, I would have them list the exact equipment required, come up with simple specific rules, and draw a diagram or create a video on what the game should look like. In the development phase, I would ask them to meet with another group and explain their game. The goal of this would be for the other team to come up with questions and suggestions to make to the game. After the appropriate changes, I would have them meet with me to determine if additional suggestions or changes are needed, or whether they are ready to present and teach the class. Modifying the initial process to meet our needs would be beneficial for my students. Even though I look forward to this unit, I know sometimes it can be met with a lot of frustration that slows down progress. Having this systematic process would help break down the project. Overall, I enjoyed working with my group. We created a software program that I can use with my PE classes or share with my fellow colleagues. It was also great learning about the process that it takes to create software program. By modifying it, I could use it in my classes to meet our needs. These are my references, and that is all from me. Thank you for a great class.